We are your premier, best in state driving school, located in southwest Oklahoma at Fort Cobb Public School. We can provide all the services related to driving in the state of Oklahoma, such as driver's education, in house testing capabilities, permits, and drive testings for a license. The only thing that you will be required from DPS is your eye exam. We have certified instructors that use our cars to teach your students how to be the best drivers from the beginning. Come see us today for all your driving needs.
We're bringing fiber internet to Fort Cobb. Having fast internet is a must-have, whether you're working or learning from home. That's why we are building a fiber network in your community. We have wireless internet solutions too, available at Fort Cobb Lake, Crow's Roost, Alfalfa, and more. You can count on us for a fast, reliable connection to the world. We're proud to be a local provider that's part of your community. Get connected to Carnegie Fiber today.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorst get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off.
Stream like the pros with Squirtle Live. Find out more at squirtle.com/stream.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
Versatile Networks can handle all of your school or business technology and wiring needs. Expanding into a new building or office space? We would love to give you a free quote for your network wiring. Are your computers outdated? Are your servers slow? Is your network underperforming? Is your wireless network weak? Let Versatile Networks come in and assess the situation and get you back up and running the way you should be. Call Versatile Networks today at 405-217-0267 or visit versatilenetworks.com for more information.
Welcome back to Fort Cobb. About set to start the boys contest. The Cobb Broxton Mustangs taking on the Comanche Indians. Be the first contest for Comanche of the season. Mustangs are 3-2 on the year. Lost their first two contests to Indiana and Arapahoe, triple overtime, so they're on a 3-game winning streak. Coming off a big win against Riverside about 10 days ago. Playing a bigger class, Mustangs Class B, Comanche 3A, Blake Perryman tells me. So I'm sure Comanche probably has some athletes, I'm guessing. Ought to be a pretty good ball game.
I think they're going to come out kind of like their girls team did, going to want to run in transition, but that almost plays into how the Mustangs play. And I've noticed this year we've done it a lot more than we have in the last couple of years. We're kind of getting back in that run in transition. We're going to beat you down the court, and we're going to outrun you all game long.
Yeah.
And that seemed to work pretty well for them. We have quite a few guys down there. Jackson Willits, just to name one, that is probably one of the quickest guys, maybe the quickest guy on the court at all times. And whenever you put all those together, Jackson Willits, Taylor, Cray Rogers, even Simeon Collins and Aiden Lewis, whenever you can get him maybe a little bit of a head start, that's nothing against him, but he's not one of those guys that gets out there in transition and runs. But whenever you get those guys in transition, you get a little pressure on the ball, and you get a steal or you get a tip, and you have someone running down the court, they'll beat you like that all day.
Yeah. They kind of got off to a slow start this season, the Mustangs did. They had 4 new starters in their starting lineup. Relatively, brand new team, and kind of got off to a slow start at Indiana. Since then, they played pretty well, and they get better every game, it seems. So I'm looking forward to what they have tonight. Going to have the starting lineups first for the Indians. As senior number 2, Landon Ellis. A sophomore number 3, Miles Ellis. A sophomore number 4, Dylan Ellis. A senior number 13, Xander Dodd. And a senior number 35, Jeremy Crisp. And they are coached by Mr. Caleb Patterson. For the Fort Cobb Broxton Mustangs, they start a number 2, Jackson Willits. Number 3, Cray Rogers. Number 4, Simeon Collins. Number 20, Aiden Lewis. And number 33, Ian Taylor. And the Mustangs are coached by Mr. Scott Hines. As we are about set to go, this was pink out night, as we mentioned in the girls contest. Once a year, the FCCLA club here at Fort Cobb Broxton, sponsored by Miss Becky Hines, as a fundraiser to support a couple of local people who are fighting cancer. And tonight, those recipients were given to Miss Katie Sokolowski and Mr. Gavin Steinmetz. Both of those suffering from cancer, and our thoughts and prayers go out to those fine folks, and thanks to all the folks for contributing to that effort tonight. Mustangs, Ian Taylor jumping center against Jeremy Crisp, and the ball is controlled by the Mustangs, and they will have the first shot at it, and it looks like Comanche's going to come out in his own defense. Cray Rogers will wrong three-pointer, and it's going to be no good, but a foul on the rebound. I believe it's going to be charged to number 15. That'll be, no, who did he give him? 13.
13.
Xander Dodd. And the Mustangs to inbound. There's Cray Rogers. Dumps it down low to Lewis. Bumps it off the glass for 2. Good start for the Mustangs. Rogers caught it at the free throw line, dumped it down to Aiden Lewis on the low block, and he put it in for the easy 2. Rogers is quite the creator for the Mustangs. Good ball handler. Able to create shots. And there's a nice drive by number 2, Landon Ellis, no good. Mustangs with the rebound. Willits quickly into the front court. Collins holding out front. Mustang kind of setting up in a 1-3-1 attack offensive set here with Lewis on the low block. As they're surveying this zone that they're playing, kind of a, looks like a 2-3 zone, kind of a matchup type zone to me. Coach Hines giving us some instruction to try to know how to attack it. It looks a little different than what we've been used to. Willits, nice drive along the left side, no good. And the rebound is taken by Miles Ellis. And the Mustangs come out in a man-to-man defense. And we're going to have an offensive foul charged to Xander Dodd. And that'll be 2 personals already on him. And he's going to be replaced by number 10. That's Mason Cobb, a senior. And pressure in the backcourt by the Indians. A little zone pressure. Collins whips it quickly into the front court without looking, and the ball was intercepted by Landon Ellis, as he anticipated that pass pretty easily. There's a drive by Miles Ellis. Top of the key, Crisp. Three-pointer straight away. Jeremy Crisp. It's Comanche on top, 3-2. Lob pass up ahead to Taylor. Underneath to Lewis. Shot short, no good. Crisp batted it away. Lewis was right there for another easy two. Couldn't get it over the rim. And Comanche now with the basketball. There's a drive by Miles Ellis. Kicks it out front. Three-pointer, left wing, no good. Willits there high for the rebound, and Jeremy Crisp went over his back and fouled him. That's 3 quick fouls on Comanche to start the contest with 5:22 to play, opening period. Rogers into the front court with a left hand, behind the back dribble, over to Jackson Willits. Back to Rogers. Lobs it in the corner to Lewis. Zone defenses sometimes give the Mustangs problems, Blake. If you don't penetrate in there and kick it out to the open man, sometimes you can have trouble getting open looks. And the Mustangs seem kind of perplexed by this defense at the moment.
It is a very, very extended 2-3 zone.
Collins' three-pointer won't go, and there's going to be a foul on the rebound. And he called it on Aiden Lewis. That's his first personal. Yeah, you kind of need somebody to penetrate in there and kick it out to the open man and hope that you can connect from long range on some of these zones. Not always easy to do. Long three-pointer won't go. Comanche with a rebound. That's Cobb with it. Wide open underneath the basket is Landon Ellis, and Jackson had to come over to foul him to keep him from scoring an easy two. Pretty nice little offensive play that time by the Indians as they were able to get Ellis wide open in the paint.
One thing I've noticed so far is there's a lot of quickness in those red jerseys. They have no problem, it seems, running with the Mustangs thus far.
They move well without the ball, it seems. Crisp was going to be replaced by Cason Morris, big junior. And Ellis will have one more. He missed them both. And the Mustangs on the attack. Willits into the front court, hands it off to Simeon Collins. Two-three zone by Comanche, into Lewis, high post, back to Rogers, to Collins, 17-footer, no good. Good look at it. Left-hander, which couldn't get it in the basket. And here comes Comanche. Lewis and really battling his post defender in there. There's a nice drive, shot no good. Rebound Taylor. Taylor has it along the baseline, pressured heavily by Landon Ellis. Finally picks up his dribble, lobs it out to Rogers, back to Taylor along the baseline. And the pass is intercepted nicely by Mason Cobb on good anticipation. Looks like they're reading their minds here, Blake, on what the Mustangs are trying to do. So far, Comanche's done a good job defending them.
That's a lot of what you see whenever you get an extended zone. They're quick enough. They do a good job of helping the helper, as they call it, and they can get into those passing lanes a little bit quicker than you'd expect.
They kind of look like the Globetrotters out there passing it around. Shot no good. Mustangs to the rebound. And ball tapped away and out of bounds off of Landon Ellis. And checking in will be number 32, Briar Blair. That'll be hard for me to say. Briar Blair. Number 32 for the Indians. And let's see what the Mustangs have up their sleeve here. They're going to have Rogers over to Willits. Kicks it to Rogers. Long three-pointer, right side, no good. Off the heel of the basket, but Landon Ellis can't control the rebound, and it goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Fort Cobb. They trail it 3-2 with 2:25 to play, opening period. There's Rogers. Free throw line over to Taylor. Good defense by the Indians. Got him off his feet. Had nowhere to go. There's a travel on number 32. Briar Blair. And it'll be turned over to the Mustangs. Oh, he called a foul. I thought we had a travel. One official called that.
The ref closest to us down here had a travel. He was a little bit behind the play.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was a travel all the way, I thought. And I kind of looked away. I think Comanche just assumed there was a foul.
Yep. I do think the ref underneath the bucket had a foul, but
it was after the travel. And Lewis goes in for two, and it's swatted away, but it's going to be a foul charge to Comanche. And it's going to be charged to number 10, Mason Cobb. And Aiden Lewis will be at the line shooting two, as he has the only Mustang points tonight so far, scored on the opening possession. And free throw no good. Kind of a slow start tonight, Blake, for the Mustangs.
Something you don't see very often either.
He makes the second. And we're tied at 3. Had a little bit 10-day layoff over Thanksgiving. Quite a battle underneath, shot no good. Rogers there with a nice rebound between two defenders. I tell you, Comanche's got some big boys underneath that basket. Probably some football players. They look like they could play football. Ian Taylor with a long, what in the world? Long pass. That looked like a Hail Mary. That was slightly off target. Checking in will be Blake Nunn, replacing Aiden Lewis for the Mustangs. With 1:42 to play, opening period, we're tied at 3. Run a weave out front. There's a drive by number 2 is Landon Ellis, and he's going to be fouled, taking it to the basket. Simeon Collins got him. Yeah, it kind of lull you to sleep out there with that weave, and then all of a sudden they make a quick dart down the lane and get you in a bind real quick.
You know, Don, Blake Nunn is a pretty big kid in his own right.
Yeah.
And standing down there next to Comanche's big man, he just doesn't look that big at all.
3 or 4 inches shorter. Yeah, they definitely have a size advantage. And a lane violation on the free throw, no good. As Dylan Ellis checks in, replacing Miles. There's three boys on a team with the last name of Ellis. Landon, Miles, and Dylan.
Miles and Dylan are twins, I believe.
They're both sophomores.
From what I hear, they're both pretty good.
Yeah. 4-3 our score. Comanche on top. 1:16 to play. Nunn has it. Over to Willits. Between the legs dribble. Now out front to Rogers. Tell you, this zone, these other teams that have played this zone has given the Mustangs trouble this year, and same thing happening here. Willis drives along the baseline, leaves it for Nunn, but it's knocked away. Pretty good idea. And there's a finger roll good by Mason Cobb, and it's 6-3. Willis in the backcourt up ahead of Taylor. Now to Rogers. Rogers has misfired on a couple of threes from that distance. Now to Collins. In the corner to Ian Taylor, three-pointer, no good. Comanche high for the rebound. And that will be Landon Ellis into the front court with 14 seconds to play. They run that weave out front again. Ellis with it. 15-foot jumper, no good. 2 seconds, and we're going to have a foul on the rebound. And it's going to be charged to number 42. 32. Briar Blair picks it up with 1.6 seconds. And checking in will be Corbin Bowen, replacing Landon Ellis. And So the Mustangs not a lot of time here to do anything. Collins will inbound it to Rogers. One dribble, long pass up ahead, no good. That will do it. After one period of play, Comanche leads it 6-3. You're listening to Fort Cobb Broxton Mustang basketball on FCB Mustang.
Allegiant Marketing Group produces inbound lead generation for our clients through integrated traditional and digital campaigns. We continuously develop new strategies, tactics, and productive efficiencies so you can reach your target market and get a measurable return on investment. This fast-paced world demands for your products and services to be presented at the moment your buyers need them. Targeted and innovative marketing creates your success. Call AMG today, your marketing partner.
Blake, what's the shooting percentages in the first half?
Well, nothing too impressive. Mustangs 1 for 8 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3, and Comanche 2 for 9 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3.
A low-scoring affair for sure. All the Mustang points, all three of them have been scored by Aiden Lewis. As we start the second period, it'll be Comanche's basketball. Mustangs have gone to that zone defense, it appears. Trying to create a little turnover, try to get some easy shots off a turnover. And the ball goes out of bounds off Fort Cobb. As Xander Dodd will check in, replacing Briar Blair. Taylor got a hand on that one. Knocked it over to Rogers. Good hustle by Comanche as they got back quickly. Now Willits has it along the baseline. Little scoop shot, no good. Battle for the rebound, and we're going to have a foul on Nunn, I believe, as he went over the back. That'll be the first personal on Blake and the fourth team foul on the Mustangs. Bowen with it, dribbles across the circle. Over to Dylan Ellis, back to Bowen. Along the back door, they go to Miles Ellis, and he stumbles and falls along the baseline. It'll be turned over to Fort Cobb. Landon Ellis will check in, replacing Miles Ellis. And we have pressure in the backcourt again by Comanche. Nice bounce pass up ahead to Ian Taylor. His layup won't go. And a rebound by Jeremy Crisp. Or Cason Morris, I should say. There's Morris. Dumps it down to Cobb. Over to Xander Dodd, and he lays it in for two. 8-3 are scored. Taylor gets free over to Blake Nunn, layup good. Blake Nunn off a good feed from Ian Taylor, who got loose. One of the few open looks the Mustangs have had. Okay, Comanche does a good job on both ends of the floor. They're pretty patient on offense, play good defense, and giving Mustangs some trouble. There's a nice, Taylor got a hand on it to Nunn, over to Willits, pull up 14-footer, right side, no good. And Comanche with a rebound. Mustang not shooting it very well. Looks like they've been off on Christmas or Thanksgiving break for a while and having a hard time getting the shots to fall here early. See if they can create some more turnovers off this zone. Comanche doing a good job handling it. Penetration in the paint, shot no good, and a foul. Going to be charged to number 21. That will be Kason Morris. And substitutions in for Comanche. We've got Jeremy Crisp, Mason Cobb, and Landon Ellis. The 32, I should say, it's Briar Blair back in. There's Taylor, little 4-foot runner, no good. Ball loose on the floor and out of bounds off of Comanche. He said, I don't know why you're pointing at me. I didn't touch it. 5:08 to play in the second. Rogers to try to inbound, finally gets it into Nunn. There's Rogers all alone. Now they close out on him. There's Collins. Really having a hard time solving this zone defense. Willits catches a pass from Rogers, lays it in for two on a nice catch and shot all in one motion, and it's 8-7. Good play by Jackson off of a nice feed from Trey Rogers. Kind of in no man's land. They kick it out front to Cobb. Now back to Briar Blair into Crisp. Willits almost had a steal, and we're going to have a drive to the hoop, but there's going to be a foul before the shot attempt. And it's going to be charged to Simeon Collins, his second. And that will be the 5th team foul on the Mustangs. Comanche to inbound. They try to squeeze it in there to Crisp, but knocked away by Taylor. Pass up ahead to Rogers, ahead of the pack. A good hustle by Briar Blair as he hustles from behind and knocks it away to save an easy two. Miles Ellis checks back in, replacing Dodd. Looked like we were going to get an easy basket there, Blake.
Talked about it before the game, running in transition, but they just had better defense that time.
Yeah. Good hustle by Collins. That gets it to Nunn, and he's going to be tied up along the baseline on a spin move. And it's going to stay with Fort Cobb on the alternating possession. Rogers set the inbound. Could you turn me? Out to Willits. They close out on him, and they're going to have a foul. As he bumped Jackson as he made a move around him. Briar Blair picks up his second, and that'll be the 7th team foul on Comanche. And Willits will be at the line with the one and a bonus. Jackson with 2 points so far tonight. And he cans the first. And we're tied at 8. One more for Jackson. Nice rotation, he drains it. Puts the Mustangs on top. Their first lead since the early 2-0 lead. They whip a pass left side. There's a drive by Cobb, cut off by Willits. Has to bring it back out. Mustang zone's been pretty effective too. As we have got a low-scoring game. Pass across the lane, and shot put up by Briar Blair is no good, but he's fouled. Blake Nunn will pick up personal. That's his second. And at the line will be Briar Blair. Yet to score tonight, and he makes the first. We're tied at 9 as Kason Morris checks in, replacing Jeremy Crisp. And we're going to have a foul on number 2 on the rebound. It went through the net. That's kind of unusual that you'll see that. But anyway, that's, boy, you coach that'll make your hair, pull your hair out when you foul on a made free throw.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll walk to the other end, and Ian Taylor's going to shoot a 1-and-1. And he rattled it home. First point for Ian tonight. We're tied at 10. And he made them both. Mustangs back on top, 11-10. 3:24 to play in the half. Rogers now playing a point of that zone for the Mustangs. He got some quickness. See if they can create some turnovers. Get some transition baskets here. Otherwise, they've been hard to come by. There's a drive, no good, wild shot by Ellis. Willits takes it, rushing it into the front court. 4-on-2, over to Rogers, layup good. Good pass from Willits to Rogers, and Rogers makes his first bucket. And the Mustangs lead it 13-10. Mustangs can get in transition. That may be the key to victory tonight. And we're going to have an offensive foul charged to number 21, I believe, Kason Morris, as he kind of looks guilty. And they say he's pushing. That's his second personal. Sometimes when those big guys lean on somebody, Blake, they get noticed really easily, you know what?
They do.
In the corner to Collins, let it slip right through his hands and out of bounds. And Brody Devon will check in for the Mustangs. He's going to replace Simeon Collins. Mustangs in a 1-3-1 zone. Let's see if they can create something here off this defense. Three-pointer on the way by Miles Ellis, no good. Comanche with the rebound, loose on the floor. Now they pick it up, and Chris over to Ellis and out of bounds with 1:48 to play in the half. Rogers with a 12-foot pull-up jumper right of the lane, no good, and it's out of bounds off of Comanche. Boy, they're pretty cold tonight, Blake. Mustangs are from the field. Cobb replacing Briar Blair for Comanche. And Rogers set the inbound. And Willis tries to drive, and he's going to be fouled by Miles Ellis. And that's the 10th team foul on Comanche, so the Mustangs will be in the double bonus the rest of the half. Willits, who has 4 points so far, will have a chance to add 2 more to his total. And first one's cleanly in. That's 3 in a row for Jackson at the line. Biggest lead of the night for the Mustangs, 14-10. And that was crawled over. 15-10, 1:30 to play in the half. Thanks for joining us, folks. Hope you're enjoying our broadcast tonight, as the Mustangs try to bring home another victory here in the friendly confines on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon in Cobb, America. Okay, we had some fantastic weather the last several days. Warm temperatures, no wind. And sadly, I haven't been able to pick up a golf club. There's a pass intercepted by Blake Dunn, and he dribbles all the way down and lays it in for 2, and it's 17-10. Mustangs on top. Good work that time by Dunn. .42 seconds to play. And there's a travel on Dylan Ellis, and it'll be turned over. Samuel Lancaster checking in for for Blake Dunn for the Mustangs. And my friends Kim Crow and Carly Weaver and Steve Johnson, they play golf a lot. They've been getting to enjoy some of these warm days while old Don keeps working, and they're out there living it up. Been certainly some good golf weather, that's for sure. Good weather
Definitely.
for anything outdoors, fishing or whatever you want to do. 20 seconds to play. Taylor had it. He's knocked away briefly. He tracked it down. Now Rogers trying to get free. Finally gets into the paint. Little scoop shot's good by Cray on a beautiful move along the left side. 2 seconds. And there's shot blocked by Jackson Willits at the half. Good finish to the half by the Mustangs. And your halftime score, Fort Cobb 19, Comanche 10, as they outscored the Indians 16-4 in that period. Blake, we'll turn it over to Blake for our halftime report.
All right, you said it a couple minutes ago. Mustangs are cold, and I'd make the argument that maybe the Indians are a little bit colder.
Okay.
Mustangs are 6 for 19 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3. Warriors 3 for 15 from the field, 1 for 6 from 3. The percentages for the Mustangs, 31.6% from the field, of course 0% from 3, and then Indians 20% from the field, 17 from 3. Where Mustangs got almost half of their points. They're 7 for 8 from the line, just under 90%, and Warriors 3 for 6 from the line, 50%. Turnovers, I believe at the end of the first quarter, the Mustangs had more turnovers. Now they have 7, Comanche has 12. Rebounds are close, 8-9. Individually for the Mustangs, Jackson Willits leads everybody with 6. Blake Nunn has 4, as well as Cray Rogers. Aiden Lewis has 3, and Ian Taylor has 2. I believe it was the Riverside game that the scoring was very balanced.
Right.
So far tonight, it's looked the same way. Now, whenever you have only 19 points on the scoreboard, surely it's going to be a little bit more balanced. But I'd expect them to come out of the second half with a little bit of a lead and start to catch fire a little bit more.
Yeah.
And a little bit quicker maybe. And we talked about it before the game, even during the game, some is points in transition, and it doesn't necessarily have to be getting a steal off some pressure in the backcourt. It can come off, like we saw down here. Blake Nunn got a rebound and took it coast to coast.
Right.
And made a layup. And getting rebounds, finding good outlets, and having guys running the floor. Now, one thing we were doing earlier in the season is everyone was running back.
Right.
And we'd hardly have anyone down there trying to get a defensive rebound. And now we're starting to learn more that we know what guys need to run the floor, and we know what guys need to stay and rebound. And even then, we have some guys that can rotate around. Like Cray Rogers, he's one of the bigger guys on the team, I'd say, and he can be the one getting the rebound, he can be the one getting the outlet pass, or he can be the one running the floor. Jackson Willits, I'd say most of the time, is the one running the floor, but he can get rebounds.
Yep.
Whenever Samuel Lancaster is in there, he checked in there at the end of the second quarter. He's always the one getting the rebounds, and most of the time he does a good job of going up and getting that rebound, securing it, finding a good outlet, and a lot of the times it turns into points on the other end pretty quick.
Right.
And so not just creating turnovers and running in transition, but just playing clean basketball, getting defensive stops, and then running in transition. And if you don't have anything there, you can set up your half-court offense and do what we do best.
There you go.
And go score.
Yep. Good observations, certainly. I think the second quarter, our offense looked a lot better because our defense was better, I think. And that's generally how we play, is our defense leads to good offense. That zone always gives us trouble. Not just this year, but in a lot of years, I've noticed people zone us, and it really causes you some difficulties if you're not really shooting it well from outside. And it really puts a lot of emphasis on a point guard who can penetrate in and kick it to an open guy who's ready to shoot it and can make it, and it's and you see it all the time, not just at Fort Cobb, but all levels of basketball. Zone defenses will cause all kinds of trouble if you're not making shots.
Right.
It's just the way it is. It seems like the more you miss, the more you miss.
That's very true. To point on that, either Coach Hines said something there at the break for the first quarter, or maybe they're getting a little bit more pressure in our half-court offense, but Mustangs were 1 for 8 from the field and took all 4 of their threes in the first quarter. Second quarter, they went 5 for 11 and did not take a single three.
Yeah, I'm sure that was an adjustment he made. No doubt about that. All right, Blake, good job reporting. Let's take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have second half action. You're listening to Fort Cobb Broxton basketball on FCBMustangs.tv.
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers.
Talk about a win-win.
Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
Ouachita Valley Bank, locally owned and operated since 1902, proudly serving the Fort Cobb area with knowledgeable and friendly professionals that actually care about your financial well-being. Online banking, loans, certificate of deposit, safe deposit boxes, 24-hour telephone banking, and an ATM. For service you can trust, Ouachita Valley Bank, 405-643-2305. Member FDIC. Proud supporters of Fort Cobb Mustangs. The name of the store is T-Birds. Come see Connie for our daily lunch specials. Good. We offer cold drinks, hot food, and a clean environment. Also, $1 Fountain Pop Wednesdays. See you soon. We are your premier, best in state driving school, located in southwest Oklahoma at Fort Cobb Public School. We can provide all the services related to driving in the state of Oklahoma, such as driver's education, in-house testing capabilities, permits, and drive testings for a license. The only thing that you will be required from DPS is your eye exam. We have certified instructors that use our cars to teach your students how to be the best drivers from the beginning. Come see us today for all your driving needs.
We're bringing fiber internet to Fort Cobb. Having fast internet is a must-have, whether you're working or learning from home. That's why we are building a fiber network in your community. We have wireless internet solutions too, available at Fort Cobb Lake, Crow's Roost, Alfalfa, and more. You can count on us for a fast, reliable connection to the world. We're proud to be a local provider that's part of your community. Get connected to Carnegie Fiber today.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorst get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off.
Stream like the pros with Squirtle Live. Find out more at squirtle.com/stream.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples, Nix, and Dieselhorst, and we are here to help.
Versatile Networks can handle all of your school or business.
Welcome back to Fort Cobb. Folks, thanks for joining us tonight. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Blake Perryman along with Don Tyson here. Mustangs lead at 19-10 at the half. Been kind of a struggle offensively, but they kind of snapped out of it there late in the second quarter to kind of pull away. As first quarter was pretty low scoring. Comanche had a 6-3 lead after one period, but the Mustangs have taken control here, outscored them 16-4 there in the second period. So good things to come, I think, here in the second half. They kind of looked to me like it took them about a quarter to shake off that Thanksgiving break. All that turkey and dressing they had, huh?
I believe you're right.
I'd like to thank our sponsors while we have a moment. The Southwest Oklahoma Driving School, Carnegie Fiber, Ouachita Valley Bank, T-Bird's Convenience Store, and ABC Superior Realty, Miss Shelley Dissy. Thanks for all those folks for sponsoring our broadcast this season. Mustangs starting five back out there. You got Taylor, Collins, Willits, Lewis, and Rogers. And for Comanche, we have Xander Dodd, Landon Ellis, Miles Ellis, Dylan Ellis, and Jeremy Crisp. And Comanche will start with the ball in the first possession of the half. And the Mustangs playing that 1-3-1 zone. Ellis drives, kicks it out front. Mustangs being a little more disciplined on defense, and there's going to be a reach-in foul on Taylor. I'm going to tell you, these guys, these officials, there's three of them out there, and they don't really let you play too aggressive. They call fouls. Fairly closely.
We haven't seen very many jump balls this game, though.
Thankfully. There's Crisp. Little hook shot's good by Jeremy Crisp to start the scoring. A little half hook. And that's 5 for Jeremy. And it cuts the lead to 7. Now Rogers into the front court. See what kind of adjustments the Mustangs made at half. And they lost the ball right off the bat. Here comes Dylan Ellis at the head of the pack. And he lays it in for 2. So just like that, Comanche comes out of the halftime locker room, scores the first 4 of the second half. We played a minute, and it's a 5-point lead. They cut the lead to 5. Hayden Lewis working in the paint, kicks it out to Rogers. Back to Lewis, 14-foot jumper, too hard. Rebound Ellis. Taylor picks up the loose ball. Layup short. Battle for the rebound, and we're going to have a jump ball. There's your jump ball. Mustangs missed a golden opportunity there as Taylor picked up the loose ball. And one of those layups where he didn't quite get his feet where he wanted it to be. He kind of had to reach for the layup and left it short. Rogers, a little 12-footer, good, right in front of the basket. That's 6 for Cray. And it's back to a 7-point lead for the Mustangs. There's Ellis over to Cobb. They swing around the perimeter. Cobb, left wing 3, good. Mason Cobb with his first basket. He cuts the lead to 4, 21-17. Rogers right side. Collins, 3-pointer. No good. Rebound Crisp.
Tell you what, it's been a while since I've seen them missed this many without a make.
Yeah, what'd you say they missed the first half?
Four.
Four,
And now they have
16-footer by Dylan Ellis, and it's a 2-point contest as the Indians have come out pretty hot here to start the second half. They're on a 9-2 run here to start the third period. Back door's open. Willits with a nice feed to Lewis, and he's going to be fouled by Crisp, I think. As Willits got down there along the baseline, and generally you can cause teams problems when you catch the ball that easily, that close to the goal, and he was able to shuffle it over to Lewis, and he'll be at the line shooting 2. Aiden has 3 points on the night, 1 out of 2 from the line, and he makes that one.
That little spot, it's a little bit closer to the baseline, but between the block and the corner.
Yeah.
They call that the cage, and a lot of times, they preach, don't let them drive baseline, but it's even worse whenever you can catch a pass wide open in that spot because you can go so many different areas with the ball.
Why do they call it the cage? You ever have any idea why?
Well, if you aren't open, say they're playing a zone and trapping you,
yeah.
if you're in that spot, you can't go anywhere. I believe that's why they call it the cage.
In the cage.
Now, Coach Davis is the one that taught us that. And
there's a foul on Aiden Lewis. Well, it makes sense because if you catch the ball right there, you're going to be surrounded pretty quick.
Yep. If you can get rid of it quick enough, you can either have a wide open dish to the block, or maybe the guy, if you're in a man-to-man, the guy guarding someone in the corner crashes into you, and you can kick it back out to the corner. You can go back to the top. You can go a lot of places with the ball, but have to be very quick about it.
Yeah, there you go. That's the key to it, isn't it? First free throw no good by Ellis. And he makes a second. And checking in will be Briar Blair replacing Xander Dodd. It's a 3-point lead. Mustangs with the basketball. 4:35 to play third period. In the corner to Taylor. The bounce pass along the baseline to Lewis. He can't get the shot in, and it's too hard off the backboard. And
that's kind of what I was talking about right there. Catch it in the cage. He made a quick enough pass, just unable to finish.
Yep. Finishing is important, would you say? There's a 3-pointer, left side, no good. Battle for the rebound. Taylor hustles over and picks it up, and it goes out of bounds as Blake Nunn will check in, replacing Lewis. And it'll be Comanche's basketball with 4:02 to play in the third. Cobb dribbling out front over to Briar Blair to Crisp. I keep wanting to say he made a crisp pass to somebody, but so far he has yet to help me out on that. And, Blake Nunn swats it away as Briar Blair was headed to the hoop. They like to run that weave out front. And there's Rogers, takes it away. He's ahead of the pack. Layup no good. Coach Hines wanted one of those fly-by fouls, but they didn't call it that time. And there's a drive, no good. Put back is no good, but he's fouled. That's Briar Blair with good hustle. And the foul is going to be charged to number 22, Blake Nunn.
It'll be his third now.
And Briar Blair will be shooting 2.
No, Don, a general rule of thumb to me is if you're up in the air and you seem to twist a little bit, I'd say that might be a foul, but, I guess I'm probably not a seasoned official like some of these other guys are.
Well, it's funny, you'll see them call things that not real noticeable, and then you have one on a layup like that where they're swapping at it and they let it go. But I wasn't down there, so maybe missed him. I don't know. Missed them both. And the battle for the rebound, it goes off of Comanche, they say. Much to the chagrin of the Comanche faithful here.
I might be on their side on that one, Don.
Yeah.
I think Taylor tipped that one out.
Kind of looked like that to me too.
We'll take that break.
Oh yeah. Rogers drives in the paint. Little 6-foot runner's good. Big basket there by Cray. That's 8 for him. And it's back to a 5-point lead for the Mustangs, 25-20, with 3 minutes to play in the third.
And that could be labeled as a 4-point swing right there.
Absolutely. Quite a battle in there between Nunn and Case and Morris, post player. Nunn doing a good job of defending him. Lance Anderson checked in, by the way, for the Mustangs. They get it to Morris along the baseline. Nunn pokes it away from him, but he picks it back up. They swing it around. Miles stumbles through the lane. Morris picks it up. A little hook shot, no good. Taylor with a rebound.
Looks to me, Don, like Mustangs have gone to a 2-3 zone from that 1-3-1 trap.
Rogers lost the handle. Finger roll on the other end's no good, but Comanche gets the rebound. So they missed a golden opportunity right there. And the foul's on Nunn. That's his 4th.
Like I was saying, they go to a 2-3 zone from a 1-3-1 trap, and the eldest Ellis boy looks like he's been doing a really good job of flashing the paint, getting to that backside. Now that we're in a 2-3, it's kind of hard to get. It's kind of hard to get in that backdoor spot.
Yeah. Now that 1-3-1 will leave that baseline open for you, and this zone defense will change that for sure. Nunn is replaced by Lancaster for the Mustangs with 1:45 to play in the third. Yeah, they kind of shut off that baseline, that's for sure, with this defense. Coach Hines is great at making adjustments, that's for sure. And we're going to have traveling in the lane as Case and Morris fumble the pass. And he's going to be replaced by Jeremy Crisp. With 1:28 to play in the third. Rogers, left side to Willits. In the corner to Anderson, baseline Trey off the back iron. Taylor high, bats it out to Rogers. Good save there for the Mustangs. They'll have opportunity to reset it. Rogers, the 8-foot runner, good. Trey Rogers, he is very good at that little floating shot. And that's 10 for Cray, and it's a 7-point lead for the Mustangs.
That, to me, Don, is one of the hardest shots in basketball to master.
No question.
Not the three, but that mid-range jump shot, even floater. It's such a tough shot to master. And when you can do it and do it right, man, it looks pretty.
Oh, yeah, very good defense by Rogers. Got a fingertip on it, and it went off of Comanche and out of bounds. So they have a chance to score here and match their biggest lead. Yeah, Rogers, he's good at that floater. You're right, it's very hard to make. I did that. I used to try that in my driveway a lot. It almost always hit the back of the rim. You know, it's just hard shot to master. But Trace, he's such quick off his feet, he can shoot it before anybody's ready, and pretty hard to stop it. 20 seconds to play. The Mustangs playing for the last shot. It'll be Comanche's ball to start the fourth, so it'll be nice to get a basket here. 10 seconds. Now he'll start to go. 8 seconds. Left side Willits. Into the paint. Spin move. Hands it off to Lancaster. Layup good. He's fouled. Beautiful, beautiful basketball that time by the Mustangs as Willits, with a spin move, handed it off to Lancaster, who kissed it off the glass and was fouled. And that'll be the fourth personal on Dodd. with 1.62 seconds to play in the third. And Samuel Lancaster for the three-point play, and it rimmed out. After 3 periods, the Mustangs 29, Comanche 20. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout.
Technology and wiring needs. Expanding into a new building or office space? We would love to give you a free quote for your network wiring. Are your computers outdated? Are your servers slow? Is your network underperforming? Is your wireless network weak? Let Versatile Networks come in and assess the situation and get you back up and running the way you should be. Call Versatile Networks today at 405-217-0267 or visit versatilenetworks.com for more information.
Allegiant Marketing Group produces inbound lead generation for our clients through integrated traditional and digital campaigns.
That quarter was even Steven, 10 apiece. Mustangs held a 10-point lead at the half, and they currently, or 9-point lead at the half, and they currently lead it by 9, 29-20. And it'll be Comanche's ball. Start the fourth period. Mustangs kind of weathered the storm there. They come out of the locker room. Comanche scored 4 straight points, and Mustangs are able to rally back there at the end. I think that, as you pointed out, that switching to that 2-3 zone kind of changed the tide a little bit on the defensive end for the Mustangs. Comanche having a pretty difficult time getting any open looks. There's a little hook shot by Crisp. Lance Anderson high for the rebound. Knocks it over to Lancaster. Good work by Lance. Near turnover in the backcourt. And Rogers hustles after it. Good ball handler, old Cray is. Quick off his feet. Over to Willits. In the corner to Anderson. Baseline 3, no good. Rebound Comanche. Just a hair off. That's what you need. You need somebody to bust that zone every once in a while. Drain one of them three-pointers. Into Crisp. Lancaster on him, and then he passed it out.
I think he was trying to pass it to his coach there.
Yeah, he was the only one open. Cobb was there for a minute, and he disappeared. If he'd have stayed right there, he'd had an open shot. Turnover to the Mustangs. Rogers in the paint, over to Willits. Left wing 3 on the way. Good. Jackson Willits. That's the first tray of the night for the Mustangs.
I sure am glad I didn't make a prediction tonight.
That's 8 for Jackson, and it's a 12-point lead for the Mustangs, biggest of the contest. Jackson reaches in, swipes it. Now he'll bring it into the front court. 15-foot pull-up jumper at the free throw line, no good. Got his own rebound. Gets by his defender, layup, no good. Rolled off the rim. Battle for the rebound. It's loose on the floor, picked up by Comanche. Everybody's diving on it, and we have that jump ball. And it'll stay with Fort Cobb with 6:10 to play in the ball game. Good hustle by both teams there. Diving on the floor for the loose ball. Rogers out front to Willits, top of the key. Going against Corbin Bowen.
Tell you what, Don, the Mustangs are a couple big shots away from kind of almost putting this thing away the way the Warriors have shot tonight.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the Mustangs haven't been much better. So.
Yeah. Willits in the corner to Taylor, back to Willits. Well, this quarter's going by pretty quick. It's already down to 5:42. Rogers lost the handle on it, get it over to Devon. Might have been a travel. And then Comanche knocks it out of bounds. I think they said it wasn't a travel because he didn't have possession of the ball, is what I'm assuming. Checking in will be Miles and Dylan Ellis. Replacing Blair and Corbin Bowen.
And I'd say probably with those two on the court, they've fared a little bit better, especially defensively.
Yeah.
So
they're pretty quick.
Might get interesting quick, Don.
I'd say so. There's a pass out to Rogers. Yeah, they've picked up the pace on defense. Willits, baseline 3 on the way, off the heel of the basket. Lancaster battled it out, and it's picked up by Comanche. That might have been the dagger right there if he'd have made that one, the one you're looking for. Mustang's doing a good job closing out on their shooters. Drive along the baseline, over to Cobb, three-pointer on the way, no good. Trey Rogers with a rebound. In the corner to Taylor. Bounce pass out to Rogers. Back to Taylor, wide open. Then they close out on him, and there's going to be a foul. He come flying by, and Taylor disappeared. But he caught him on the back. And he was not in the act of shooting. And so it'll be Mustangs basketball in. Collins replacing Brody Devon. Out front to Willits. In the corner, Collins off the bench, three-pointer, off the heel of the basket. Battle for the rebound. It's off court Cobb. Mustangs have been cold from the outside, that's for sure. What's their three-point shooting percentage? Like
1 for 10. They're 10%, Don.
1 out of 10. Nunn will replace Lancaster, who gave us some good minutes there that quarter.
I'd definitely take how the girls were doing right now. It's 7 for 11, I believe.
Yeah, 7 for 11 will add that tally up pretty fast.
Here's a shooter over here on the left wing. He's made, I think, both of theirs today.
Putback is good by Mason Colbert. And we're going to have a full timeout taken by Comanche. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout.
We continuously develop new strategies, tactics, and productive efficiencies so you can reach your target market and get a measurable return on investment. This fast-paced world demands for your products and services to be presented at the moment your buyers need them. Targeted and innovative marketing creates your success. Call AMG today, your marketing partner.
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers. Talk about a win-win. Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
Ouachita Valley Bank, locally owned and operated since 1902, proudly serving the Fort Cobb area with knowledgeable and friendly professionals that actually care about your financial well-being. Online banking, loans, certificate of deposit, safe deposit boxes, 24-hour telephone banking, and an ATM. For service you can trust, Ouachita Valley Bank, 405-643-2305. Member FDI.
32-22. 4:15 to play in the ball game. And Comanche's going to put some full court pressure on here to try to get back in the ball game. See how the Mustangs handle it. Up to Taylor, underneath the Willits. Layup is good. Boy, that's a way to beat a press right there. Good ball movement. Willits bumped in and off the glass, and it's back to a 12-point lead. That's 11 for Jackson. Leads all the Mustang scorers. There's a steal. Here comes Willits racing to the other end. A lot of contact. Basket's good by Jackson. He'll go to the line for the and one. Good strong move there by Willits. Took a lot of contact and was able to convert the basket. And the foul is going to be charged to Dylan Ellis, his second. And the Mustangs looking for that dagger you were talking about a while ago.
And this might be it right here.
As they start the tomahawk chop over here. That's kind of cool. 3-point play for Jackson, and it's a 15-point lead for the Mustangs.
At some point, I expect them to start putting up a few threes. They haven't had one here in a while, but
well, they don't really had too many openings. There's a drive along the baseline off the front of the rim, no good by Miles Ellis, and there's going to be a foul on the rebound by Jeremy Crisp. And that's his second personal, the 5th team foul on the Indians. So this last 3 minutes could go to a snail's pace here. Probably going to be a lot of fouls, I would think. Rogers now into the front court, trying to get loose. Dylan Ellis doing a good job on him. Over to Collins. Probably a good time for the Mustangs to practice their delay game, I would think. There's Nunn, spin move, layup is good. Beautiful move by Blake Nunn. He got around Jeremy Crisp. And that's 6 points for Blake. Nice ball movement there, and he laid it in for a 17-point lead for the Mustangs. There's a three-pointer on the way, no good. And Landon Ellis picks up the loose ball, penetrates in the paint, and he's going to foul Nunn, who was trying to get out of his way. That's unbelievable. That's going to be the 5th foul on Blake, and all he was doing was backing up, trying to get out of his way. It's hard to believe. Blake just shakes his head in disbelief. One of those deals, you know you got 4 fouls, and you're just trying to get out of the way, and it's like, I'm going to call a foul on you no matter what. Good work by Blake. That's his 5th foul. He's going to be replaced by Aiden Lewis. Substitutions galore here coming in for Comanche. We've got number 12 is Hunter Lashley. Number 5 is Corbin Bowen. Let's see, what's the other young man's name? Number 0 is Aiden Kane. Free throw no good by Landon Ellis. And number 32 checking in will be Briar Blair. With 2:38 to play in the contest. Mustangs have outscored them here in the 4th period 10-2. And he makes it the second. And checking in for the first time will be Thomas Dobbins. And they're going to back out of their press. Hopefully this last 2 minutes will go by pretty quickly here, Blake, as I would anticipate.
I'd say and hope you're probably right.
Just kind of milk the clock as much as you can here. Backdoor pass to Willits. Nice little give over to Lewis, and he's going to be fouled. And he hits the deck pretty hard. Was it a jump ball or a foul? It must be a foul. I think they're lining up.
I guess so.
Lewis is going to go to the line to shoot the 1-and-1. Or I guess it'd be 2 because they're not in the bonus yet. I thought it was a jump ball myself, but I guess it's going to be a foul. They're going to give him 2 shots. Now they're going to have a discussion. Now they're going to say no foul, no shot. I think that's right. It is a jump ball, I think. They're just going to call a foul, but it's not a shot for a 1-and-1, so it'll be the Mustangs ball. Foul was charged to Aiden Kane. And we're going to have some substitutions coming in at the next stoppage. It looks like Coach Hines is going to put in 4 new players. Our next ball game, we won't play Friday night. The next ball game will be a week from tonight at Mustangs travel to Walters. And I believe that'll be a 6 o'clock tip-off, I believe, as the official stops the game so the subs can come in. That'll be number 11, Blaine Davis. Number 25, Samuel Lancaster. Number 30, Lance Anderson. Number 23, Brody Devon. And number 14 is Rylan Bitsidi for the Mustangs with 1:38 to play. As I mentioned, our next broadcast will be next Tuesday as the Mustangs travel to Walters for another 2A. There, I believe Walters is a 2A school, so backdoor pass to Davis in heavy traffic, kicks it out to Bitsidi. Or to Anderson, down to Lancaster. Turnaround shot is no good. And Corbin Bowen comes away with it with a 1:09 to play in the contest. There's pass into the paint, knocked away by Anderson, but Comanche picks it up. So shot no good. Anderson with a rebound with 38 seconds to play. And Devon into the front court, lost the handle on the ball. It goes out of bounds with 30 seconds to play. Mustangs record going to improve to 4-2 on the year. There's a nice three-point shot by number 23. That's Bladen Cook, junior from Comanche, with 10 seconds to play. Over to Bitsidi in the corner to Davis. Drives along the baseline to Lancaster. Over to Devon. 15-footer, no good. Your final score, Fort Cobb, Broxton 39 and Comanche 26. As I mentioned, the Mustangs improved to 4-2 on the year. And we'll turn it over to Blake Perryman for the post-game wrap-up. Blake?
Well done. Like I said, final score 39-26. It's certainly not a very impressive win on the Mustang side. Now, I do think Comanche is a quality opponent. They're a really good team. They know how to run in transition, and they were probably pretty equally matched with us. But at the same time, we just maybe had a little bit higher talent level. Willits got hot in the first half, and then Curry Rogers in the second half, and you make a few key buckets here and there, you get a few key turnovers here and there, and that kind of seals the deal. But shooting-wise, wasn't amazing.
Right.
Mustangs 14 for 41 from the field, 34%, 1 for 10 from three. The bright side of that, 10 for 12 from the free throw line. So if you go out and you shoot above 80% from the free throw line as a team, you're doing pretty well there. Comanche 9 for 32 from the field, 28%, 3 for 11 from three after that three-pointer there at the end, 27%, and only 5 for 12 from the line. Now, the Warriors out-rebounded Mustangs 22-16, but the way that evened out was Mustangs 11 turnovers, Warriors 21 of those.
Yeah.
And that was the difference in the game. And it seems like it always is, at least at the high school level. Whichever team has the least amount of turnovers is probably going to be the winner.
Yeah.
Unless it's just so close that maybe 1-3 or one big and one.
Yeah.
At the end of a game could
Change
swing it one way or the other.
Uh-huh.
Jackson Willits leads all scorers and leads the Mustangs with 14. Curry Rogers with 10. Blake Nunn finishes with 6 points. He finally was able to get a few good looks at the basket tonight.
Yeah,
he had that
good.
one.
I thought he played well. Yep.
The one rebound here, he takes it coast to coast, makes a contested layup, and really good finish. And that's one of those shots that's hard to make. You're running full speed. You got a guy right on your tail, and there's a lot of pressure on that shot, whether people know it or not.
Yep.
Even though it's a layup, it's still one of the hardest shots in basketball to make.
Uh-huh.
The rest of the Mustangs, Aiden Lewis finishes with 5, Samuel Lancaster and Ian Taylor both with 2. And we saw a few different guys get to come in today. You know, the past few games it's been maybe 7, I'd say. At maximum tonight, I think we saw around 9 in the rotation staying in there. I think Willits and Rogers stayed in most of the game, but pretty much everyone else kind of switched out,
Right.
just depending on who Comanche had on the floor.
Right.
And credit to Coach Hines. He comes out starting the game 1-3-1, not really a trap, but kind of a 1-3-1 zone. 2, if they get in the corner, you can put a little pressure, maybe a small double team. But they were doing a pretty good job of attacking the backside. I think they got a couple buckets off of that. And you switch to a 2-3 zone at half. They come out. They try to run that backdoor cut again, and it just doesn't work.
Right.
And they struggled to find points. In the second half, they had 16 points. Now, 10 in the first half isn't amazing. 16 in the second half isn't much better, because most of the time, I would say you come out with a little more urgency in the second half, and a lot of times people score more points in the second half. Tonight, that wasn't necessarily the case, but once again, credit to Coach Hines and credit to the players for performing that game plan.
Yeah, exactly.
Because at the end of the day, you can have a coach that says, all right, this is what we need to do, but if it's not performed correctly, then
not going to work.
There's not much point in it.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
So credit to the guys that some not playing significant minutes, and they come in tonight and get to play, and they had to go and perform that the way he wanted them to, and it seemed to me like they did. And like I said, you win the turnover battle, you get to run out in transition a few more times, and you get to make plays, and down the stretch, that ended up being what sealed the deal.
All right, good job. You want to give the scoring totals? Have you done? You haven't done that yet, have you?
I've given them for Fort Cobb. Do you want to hear?
No, that's okay.
Comanche?
That's
okay.
all right. Appreciate that, Blake. Good job, good analysis as always. Mustangs improved to 4-2 as they come out with a victory 39-26 over the Comanche Indians. Girls contest tonight, the Lady Mustangs were defeated 66-36. Thanks for joining us, folks. Appreciate all our sponsors, the Southwest Oklahoma Driving School, Carnegie Fiber, Ouachita Valley Bank, T-Birds Convenience Store, and Shelley Dissey of ABC Superior Realty. Thanks for everyone joining us. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Next broadcast will be Tuesday night at Walters. I believe that'll be a 6 p.m. tip-off as well as it was tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. Glad you came along with us. I'd like to thank Caden Baker for camera work tonight and our engineering duties, and color commentator Blake Perryman for his outstanding work. And for those guys, I'm Don Tyson saying good night, everybody.